Increasingly, Arkansas students are starting their days with more than a pledge. They're starting with a healthy, nutritious breakfast as part of their school day. It's called Breakfast After the Bell, and it's changing the way we think about school breakfast.
When you start the day with that caring teacher in the classroom and those kids eating meals right there, starting that day, the rest of the day just sets the pace, and it just shows that you care about the kids. It shows that you are there for their every need, and it improves everything else. Breakfast
is a before-school program. Breakfast in the classroom is after the bell rings and school starts. Missing the breakfast doesn't mean that it means that they're not getting breakfast at home, or they're getting up late and not getting their breakfast before they get to school. So we're giving everybody the opportunity for a nutritious breakfast to start their day.
We set up a kiosk in one area of the school, and then we had another one in the cafeteria. And there was a time later in the school day where students came by and they picked up a sack which had all their breakfast requirements in the sack. At that time they were able to go to the classroom and eat it. So they had the alternate breakfast time. They also had it in the classroom, and they also had the grab and go. So it was just a mix that we thought worked best for us, and students were able to get that.
When kids start the day with a good breakfast, they are alert and ready to learn, and that can have potentially dramatic long-term positive effects. A recent study by Deloitte and the No Kid Hungry Center for Best Practices has shown that when kids eat a school breakfast, they miss fewer days of school per year, score higher on standardized math tests, and have higher graduation rates. Many Arkansas educators whose schools have adopted breakfast in the classroom or another breakfast after the bell model report that students have fewer behavior problems, are better able to stay focused on the work at hand, and make fewer trips to the school nurse complaining of stomach or headaches.
We've also seen our attendance go up. About 2/3 of our kids now have 100% attendance for the last 9 weeks, and that's just been since we started our Breakfast in the Classroom program. So that's very exciting. We're also seeing more of our kids eating breakfast. So I think that lends itself to why some of the discipline is improved and why attendance is improved. Our breakfast eating is up 110%. So we actually have more kids who come in for breakfast now than we have that eat school lunch. And that's pretty phenomenal.
I knew the one good thing was going to be that none of my kids were going to be hungry. And in the past we have had problems with the kids being hungry. You know, I always kept snacks in my classroom for those kids who didn't get a chance to have breakfast. So I always kept graham crackers and things on hand. And so this kind of stopped all of that. You know, now I'm not having to be concerned about a kid's not focused because they're hungry, or, you know, or they're thinking about, oh, when's lunch? You know, we don't have that problem anymore. It takes about 10 minutes, and then the kids, you know, then we go on with our day.
The benefits of breakfast in the classroom are tremendous here at Franklin. When I arrived here, students would often come to the office or go to the nurse first thing in the morning, and they would be hungry, and they would say they have a tummy ache or headache. That rarely happens today because of breakfast in the classroom. Morning discipline referrals are almost non-existent, and I believe that's partly due to breakfast in the classroom.
Educators are also recognizing some unexpected consequences.
Our students have the opportunity to take ownership of the process by passing out the meals and taking up the meals. It's a time for them to learn how to have a table meal and have a conversation across the table, so they're learning social skills along with eating healthy, nutritious food.
Teachers have even commented on the social aspect of everybody sitting down together and eating as a unit, as a group, as a family. That is their classroom family. And teachers have even taught etiquette. They've taught, you know, just because a lot of children don't even have the opportunity to at home anymore to sit down with the family. Everybody is basically a grab and go, sit at the coffee table. Nobody's eating at the same time. And this has brought unity back in the classroom with children eating together and having that socialization with other children and their teachers as well.
The Arkansas No Kid Hungry campaign and our partners, like Midwest Dairy Council, have made transitioning to the breakfast after the bell models a manageable process for almost 250 schools that have already chosen to participate, providing financial and technical support all along the way.
I went to Midwest Dairy Council, went to Hunger Relief Alliance. There's grant money there. They show you how to fill out the papers. They show you how to get this money, how to do this. It's a simple procedure. They will help you. They will sit with you side by side. They will help you complete the paperwork based on your needs. We bought everything from insulated bags to ice packs to kiosks to the tablets that we're going to use on our grab and go. The money is there.
Schools with successful programs say teamwork is the key to starting and expanding breakfast after the bell models. And when the goal is making sure kids get a good start to their day, consensus is easy to build.
As a superintendent, I worked with the food service director and the high school principal, and we sat down and we looked at the models, we looked at other models across the state, and we found out what other people were doing, and we just kind of put together a model that we thought would work best for us, put it out to the teachers and said, hey, we're just going to try this a little bit. And after the kids started using it, and we saw the increase in participation greatly, then we saw that we had a hit and we were serving kids in a better way.
Had support from the district from the get-go. We've met at every building to help ensure that it is implemented with the teachers and the staff prior to implementation, and then once it starts, they believe that this is a solution to the problems that we're facing at education, as do the employees. And we're proud to do everything we can to ensure that children have a good start to their days.
We had such great results with the breakfast in the classroom at our 4 sites. We are going 100% district-wide for the 2014-15 school year. It's how you work with the principals, how you work with the staff to make the program work.
If you've been thinking of starting a breakfast in the classroom or other alternative breakfast model, take the next step today. Talk with Vivian Nicholson, Breakfast Program Director at the Arkansas Hunger Relief Alliance, and let us help make breakfast after the bell a reality in your school.
If somebody has heard the word breakfast in the classroom or grab and go or second chance, and they're still rolling that thought in their mind whether they want to do it or not, it means you probably need to do it.
We saw the participation increase. We were serving roughly around 40 meals a day using the traditional breakfast system. Using this new system, we saw it to over 200 a day in the breakfast program. So students were able to, and we saw some of the barriers were just basically practice. Some things that we were doing, and by initiating all of this, we saw the participation rate increase greatly.
When we first heard that we were going to be starting breakfast in the classroom, I was a little hesitant about it taking instructional time. I was worried just about the mess and thinking about rodents and just the whole, everything about it. But as we got into the classroom, I knew the one good thing was going to be that none of my kids were going to be hungry.